Today we are going to talk about Princess's big announcement about the Princess Perfect weddings. Things are changing with weddings on board Princess. We've got some canceled cruises. We've got updates that I want you to know about how things work. Even if you don't book your flights with Princess Easy Air, we need to talk about an award that Princess won. We're going to talk about some changes to dining on Carnival cruise ships that I'm wondering if will impact the dining on Princess or Holland America. But we're going to talk about Royal Caribbean. We've got a lot to talk about today. So this is going to be a longer video, so just make yourself comfortable and let's get started. Hi there, this is Allison with Let's Go Travel Tips. Today is Thursday. It is June 22nd of 2023. And let's start off talking about weddings on Princess. So I did a video before that I will have Gordon put the link for underneath this video in the description box, and so that you can go back and watch that if you would like to. I included a lot of information, first-hand experience from Let's Go family members who had been married on board a Princess cruise ship. Well, Princess is changing things up a little bit. They are calling it, like I said, Princess Perfect Weddings and More to Love. And so first of all, a couple of things. There are a few different packages that you can choose from if you want to get married on board or get married on shore, either in the destination that you're going to, one of those destinations, you can do that, or you can get married there in port before the ship departs. If you want to have guests attend the wedding that are not going to go on the cruise, you can do that. And then also they've got things on board that you can do, like a vow renewal or proposal, things like that. So I want to start off by telling you about the three packages and what is included. But one thing that I want us to think about is this is a really big change because historically princesses handled their own weddings. The people who were on board managed the whole thing, and now it is a third-party vendor. A lot of things that we are seeing with Princess that was historically managed by Princess themselves, they are outsourcing, and their weddings is one of those things. And so I wanted to make you aware of that right away. There is a link when you look at this information on Princess's website. If you want more information than what I'm going to share with you here, it takes you to another location, and another company is going to handle all of this. So I wanted to tell you this because if you end up wanting to do this, I would be delighted to help you and help you with your group. Take good care of your group, make sure everything goes really well, and do my best to help you ensure that that third-party vendor is going to do everything that you want them to do so that it is the experience that you're looking for. So first of all, like I said, they have got 3 different packages for weddings, and they do not list the prices, I am sure, and they don't list it on the webpage that they link you to either. I'm sure that you have to call, talk to them about which cruise you want to go on, all of the information, and then they'll give you a price for it. But they've got a few. It's called the Perfect Pair Wedding is the first one, and it is just for the bride and groom, and it includes the couple and up to 2 guests is the way they say it. So it includes the indoor or outdoor ceremony that you get to be married by the ship's captain. They'll give you fresh florals, a wedding cake, and a sparkling wine toast. They've got a dedicated photographer and some memorable prints. They'll give you a romantic breakfast for the couple, stateroom gifts and goodies, a pre-cruise, and an onboard wedding coordinator. So at least they'll still have somebody, of course, there to help manage things. And then a keepsake certificate. Now, the next level that they've got is called a timeless ceremony at sea, and it only includes the ceremony. It doesn't include anything else. And this is for the couple and up to 8 guests. So when you think of how many guests you can have, think of it this way. If you are going to do this on board, the number of guests you can have is not how many people that you can be in your group. Like, say a whole bunch of people want to come and we book you a nice group and y'all are there on the ship. That is the number of guests that can come to the ceremony, okay, to be there with you. And that package that is for the couple and 2 guests, that is for the ceremony only, and as well as the timeless ceremony at sea for the couple and 8 guests. You're not going to be able to invite everyone who is in your group into the room or out onto the deck to the location where you have the captain marry you. So I think that's a really important distinction. But so you get everything that I just listed with that last package, plus you get a live solo musicians during the ceremony, and they are also going to give you some memorable prints and some digital high resolution photos. So you'll clearly take those home and get those printed out once you arrive at home. And then finally, the last package is the timeless wedding at sea that would include the ceremony and a reception. And this can be for the couple and up to 18 guests. But I have really good ideas if your group is bigger than that. Okay, so don't worry. So you get to have everything that they listed in that last package. So everything in those previous 2 packages. Plus you get to have fresh flowers for the couple, fresh flowers for the wedding party. You get a bridal hairstyling and makeup. How fun is that? You get a 1-hour dedicated venue to celebrate after the ceremony. It doesn't tell you what the venue is, but I have heard of people having these like in the Wheelhouse Bar, in Crooner's Lounge, those kind of places. So think that. But on some of the bigger ships, I'm sure I would like to think that you're not limited to those venues only. You get a 1-hour, I told you that one. You get Good Spirits welcome cocktails curated by the couple. So I guess the couple will choose what those are. You get a 2-tier wedding cake and a sparkling wine toast and a premium dining experience for the couple. So my guess is that's going to be like your specialty dining. Now, a few things to think about. Well, here, let's move. Well, let's finish weddings and then I'll tell you about the others. So a few things to think about is we have Let's Go family members who have been married on board. Some of them, it was their first wedding. Sometimes it was their second wedding. It doesn't matter. They are getting married and they're happy. And so a few things, though, to keep in mind. Several of them shared with me that as they had extended family that wanted to come on a cruise too, that it worked out just perfect to be able to have them on board. And then you can have dinner in the main dining room the night that you get married, and you can pick the day. So you could even schedule it on a formal night and have a lovely wedding dinner, because it would just be your family, it would just be your group dining together in the main dining room, and you don't have to pay extra for that. Now with these changes, with it being handled by a third-party vendor, I am really going to look forward to hearing from any of you in our Let's Go family, and whether it's you or your friends or family. And I'm going to keep my eye out on all of the boards and Facebook groups to see how the pricing lines up, to see if it is more affordable. But I do know that a lot of times when you get married on land, you pay so much. You have to pay for your venue, you have to pay for where your reception is, you pay for your luncheon, you pay for your dinner, you pay for your rehearsal dinner, and a whole lot of those things are covered just because your group is on a cruise together. So kind of think of things that way. It's just a good way to think of things if you're leaning that way. And I've got other, like, we can talk about whatever you'd like to do if you want to send me an email if you're interested in any of that, because I got great ideas. Now they have a vow renewal. It's called Renew the Love, which I think is really sweet, and it's just for the couple. So they're going to give you a short, sweet, indoor or outdoor renewal ceremony with the ship's captain. You get to have the fresh flowers, the celebration cake, the sparkling wine toast. You get the photographer, the memorable prints, the stateroom gifts and goodies, a pre-cruise and onboard wedding coordinator like we've had with all the rest, and that keepsake certificate. And then one thing I think is really fun, although you could do it on your own and save your money, a Princess Perfect proposal. Now, if you want to do that, that's just for the couple as well. Secret proposal set up in a private indoor or outdoor location. Proposal rose and rose petal decor. A dedicated photographer and memorable prints. Celebration cake. Stateroom gifts and goodies. And also you get that pre-cruise and onboard coordinator to do that. So if you're very particular about that, you can have someone set it all up for you. So I hope that this gets you thinking a little bit, whether you are the one that is going to be getting married or you've got other family members that want to get married, that it's just another fun option to think about when you're thinking about everything, or if you're going to get engaged. Just so much fun, isn't it? I just love talking about that. I think it's wonderful. The happiest thing, Gordon and I have been married for 30, I think it's 37 years right now. Maybe it's 38. Nope, it's 37. And it's the happiest thing in my life. That and my relationship with our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. Those two things are what really ground me, make my family what it is. So it makes me happy to talk about weddings. Alrighty, now Princess Cruise Line has received an award from Travel Age West, which is really pretty much like Travel Age West has a publication. They talk about trends in the industry. They have travel agents who are a member of that. It's kind of like a group, and they vote every year on who they think. One of the things they vote on is the best cruise line to Alaska. And for the 4th time this year, Princess has been awarded that award of being the #1 cruise line in Alaska. And I can see easily why they would win this award. They have 7 ships sailing in Alaska this year. They have got a really good variety of itineraries. They've got your north and south, like from, like your Anchorage down to Vancouver, and Vancouver back to Anchorage. You can do 14 nights. You can do 7. You can do cruises with Glacier Bay, without Glacier Bay, round trip Vancouver, round trip Seattle, just so many options. They really hit a lot of the highlights there in Alaska. And they have been doing it so long that they are really good at it. I would argue that right up there with them is Holland America. Holland America has been doing it even longer. Last year, Holland America celebrated their 75th year in Alaska. I don't get paid by Holland America to bring that up, but I really do think that those 2 lines are the #1 cruise lines in Alaska for a reason. They've been doing it so long. They do an excellent job of it, and they really have their ships set up the very best to allow the best experience when you are on board, to be able to have all of the space, to be able to view like the gorgeous scenery. It is so beautiful to see those glaciers, but just regular Alaska scenery is extraordinary. So they've really got just the optimal setup. They just are spectacular at doing Alaska. If you would like to have an even better experience with that, you're going to have to go with a smaller cruise line like your Seabourn, your Silver Sea, that are more expensive. Granted, you get more. It is a much more luxurious, and you will see more experience. But when you think of the price point where we are with the large cruise lines, Princess and Holland America do steal the show in Alaska. Now, so much, we've been talking about dining a lot here lately, and dining is always such a big topic. But a couple of things. Number 1, we are going to share all of our menus with you. I'll just have Gordon Hill remember to put them to our Facebook group so that you can see those. So if you haven't joined us yet on Facebook, it's just Let's Go Travel Tips. Come and join us. Would love to have you with us. An amazing, amazing, amazing resource, amazing group family there. But we're going to put all of our menus up for the dining. We'll do our best to try to remember to take pictures of our food, put it there so that you can see what is being served on the Island Princess for the 2 weeks that we are on board. And we'll let you know what we think of it, how it compares to what we've had since COVID, what it was like compared to pre-COVID, just all of these things. But Carnival Corporation, they own, when we think of the large cruise lines here in the United States, we think of Princess, Holland America, and Carnival. Now, Carnival Cruise Line just recently has said that they are going to revamp a bunch of their menu items, and it sounds like they're really trying to do an even better job of having delicious main dining room food on their ships. So today is the 22nd, so on Tuesday they debuted some of their new menu items on the Carnival Dream, and it's really, so I looked through the list of what some of those menu items are, and if they're doing a good job in preparing them, I think they sound like a really good move in the right direction. So they've got spring roll with noodles and honey barbecue sauce, Hawaiian shrimp poke with avocado, edamame, rice, and creamy spicy sauce, Southern fried chicken, I love Southern fried chicken, with mashed potatoes and scallions. They've got a spaghetti carbonara with your Parmesan and garlic. They've got an eggplant cutlet with Parmesan, mozzarella, basil, and crushed tomatoes. They've got a New York strip loin steak. They've got grilled lamb chops. They've got a Nana cream pie. I wonder if that's like a banana cream pie. I bet you it probably is. And then a selection of ice cream and sorbet. These are things that they are adding to their main dining room menu. So I will look forward to hearing from all of you who are cruising on Carnival. And as these menus roll out, let us know what you think. I'm going to be on Carnival on the celebration the first week of November. So I will let you know how the food is there. I'm really excited. I've already started looking at all of the different dining venues that they've got. and just how everything seems to work on Carnival with food. So if you have recommendations, let me know. And it looks like I'm going to have an interior cabin on that ship, but I have never been on Carnival, and I'm really looking forward to seeing it. And I'll let you know how it is. Let's see. The next thing that we do need to talk about is Celebrity. Now, yesterday I told you about how many cruises Norwegian has canceled this year for upcoming cruises, even reaching in clear into, I have someone that was booked September of 2025 that was canceled. So a lot of cruises were canceled there. But Celebrity Apex has had their dry dock rescheduled, and they are now going to have to cancel some of their cruises on board. Now, let me tell you here the cruises that are canceled in case you happen to be booked on one of those and you haven't gotten that email yet. The voyages that go between October 23rd of 2024 and November 23rd of 2024. So with that cancellation, you have the option that you can go ahead and book on so let me tell you this first. So those canceled cruises include like an 11-night sailing that was including the Canary Islands from Southampton. There was a 13-night. It's the 13-night transatlantic that would have brought her back to the United States at that time. That is canceled. So if you want to rebook on any other Celebrity Cruise departures, you can go ahead and you don't lose your deposit if it's one of those non-refundable deposits with Celebrity. Celebrity has non-refundable and refundable. So if whatever your deposit is, you can take it with you. They are not going to keep it. You can move it to another sailing. You just book it whatever the prevailing price is, and they will give you $200 of onboard credit per stateroom. And then if you happen to have a suite book, they'll give you $400 of onboard credit. If you just want to have your money back, they will refund your money in the way that you had paid for it. And then the interesting thing is that with this change in the dates for her dry dock, it opens up a new cruise. So they're going to have a newly scheduled transatlantic that is going to depart on November 9th of 2024 to bring her back here to sail those Caribbean cruises that she does in the wintertime. So let us know if you happen to be booked on any of those cruises and what you decide to do about it. If you choose another cruise over there in Europe to go on or something else here, just what you decide to do. And one thing I am going to add about this, as part of that press release, it says full refunds for any canceled flights will not be offered. And when I read that, I thought I have to remind you all again to have some form of insurance so that if you have flights, either make sure that you book your flights so that if you don't go, you get that money back as like an e-credit with that airline so that you can use it on another ticket. Or else buy the insurance if you want to get the money refunded back to you. I know that on both American and Delta, as you go through that booking, and I'm thinking it's probably the same on other airlines, I just haven't done it. As you go through that process to book a flight, before you pay, one of the options is you're going to be able to choose insurance, and yes, it does cost. You're going to be able to click and get insurance if your flight if you can't go for any reason, that you'll get that money refunded to you. So make sure, number one, with your flights, that you know what you're booking, that you have some kind of insurance. Alrighty, because you'd either need to have cruise line insurance that would cover that, or travel insurance that would cover it, or pick it up there with the airline so that you're sure to get your money back. As you know, Gordon and I often travel with Delta. It's because Salt Lake City is a hub, and it's a good it's a good airline for us to use. But with ours, if we don't go and we don't buy that insurance, it just puts the money back in our account as an e-credit, and then we can use it on something else. So please make sure that you've got that. Now we're going to talk for just a minute about Royal Caribbean. So you probably saw in the news, and there's a few things that interest me about this, that the Icon of the Seas has been doing her sea trials, which is always this huge step in getting a ship ready to actually carry passengers on board. But a couple of things that I noticed about her that I thought were noteworthy, and I thought that maybe we would like to talk about. And one of them is with the new Sun Princess and Star Princess that we're familiar with as seeing pictures pictures of, and they talk about that new dome that they've got. It looks like the Icon of the Seas has a similar dome on top. And I'm really anxious to see. I need to get myself on the Icon of the Seas. That sailing, her inaugural sailing sold out like that. But I need to get on board because I am so excited to see that dome and really the whole Icon of the Seas. She'll be the largest cruise ship in the world. She is. And then the Utopia of the Seas, which we're going to talk about in just a minute, will come next and be even larger. But I'm really excited to see what they do with that space and then see what it's like on the inaugural for the Sun Princess and then the Star Princess. Just so many fun things happening in cruising. So I thought that was really fun. But then also note that gets us that much closer to the Icon of the Sea being ready to do her inaugural sailings and have us a whole nother ship. And I think another really fun thing is when they bring these new ships online. You know, the Wonder of the Seas is Royal Caribbean's newest ship right now. But the fun thing is, at least to me, in thinking about how many cruises I can go on, they usually the prices will go down just a little bit in comparison on those older ships, and it'll be interesting to see in this market if they indeed do, because now you have a whole big new cruise ship. So, and it'll be fun to see if that happens with Princess, with the Sun Princess. Just as they roll out big new ships everybody wants to go on, the new ships always cost the most because that's what people want to see. So thought that was kind of fun. And then I did mention Utopia of the Seas. Utopia of the Seas is going to start, her cruises are going to be going on sale soon. That's what I wanted to tell you about her. She will be the largest cruise ship in the world when she comes out, and they're going to have some new things. I thought it was kind of fun. They're going to have, one of the things they say that is going to be on the Utopia of the Sea is the first of its kind immersive dining experience. So to me, you know, when you think of the dining experiences that we have on other ships, it'll be really fun to see what they're bringing new to the dining experience with that. And they are going to have the latest and greatest and longest dry slide at sea, not a water slide. They're going to have newly designed resort style pools, which I'm excited to see. As these ships get larger and larger, I think of how many people will be on those ships and the pools that they've got, how big they will be, how the whole thing is designed so that everyone can have a chance to enjoy the pool, even though there are so many people on board. So I'm very much looking forward to seeing that as well. Now, those bookings are going to go on sale today for if you're Crown and Anchor. If you're a Crown and Anchor loyalty member, you get to book them today and then tomorrow for everyone else. So be ready. And right when she starts off, they're going to be doing those shorter cruises, I believe and that's really fun because then you get to experience the ship, you get to go see the Caribbean. It'll just be a lot of fun. So if you need help booking those, just let me know. I'd be delighted to help you. Now, we're going to talk about Princess Easy Air here for a minute because I think this is really valuable information for you. And I have known this, but it also has come to my mind a lot with some people that have emailed me lately their experiences. And so I want to make sure that you are aware of this. First of all, when you book your cruise with Princess, you have the option to book your air, of course, with Princess as well. This is true of Celebrity, of Royal Caribbean, all the cruise lines. You can generally book your air with the cruise line, and sometimes you're going to get a better rate, sometimes you're not, but it gives you that option. When you do that, they automatically include your flight information on your booking. Now, I'll finish. Okay, so they'll include your flight information, and then one of the perks that they say that goes with that is if you are late, like if there are flight delays, of course you call their same day phone number. It's the 1-800-545-0008. You call, you say, my flight is delayed, I've missed my flight because the layover was not long enough, whatever it is, and they will help you get more flights, right? And then you won't have to pay extra because they'll book you on another flight. If you miss your flight when you're booked with Princess Easy Air and you don't want to be bothered calling Princess Easy Air and you go pay for another flight, you're just going to have to pay for that flight. All right, that's money out. So be aware of that. But in addition to helping you book another flight, they also say that they will help you get to the port of call if the ship leaves without you. All right. They aren't going to hold the ship if just a couple of people are late. If it's a huge number of people, then they might hold on for a little bit of time. But generally, cruise ships need to go on time. They have schedules to meet. There are port requirements, all of these things. So they will help you get to the port of call that you can meet up with the ship if you're delayed enough that you miss the sailing, the departure time. Well, so what happens if you book your own flights? First of all, if you decide you want to book your own flights, either because you don't want Easy Air to be taking care of your flights, or if you want to use miles to pay for them, if you see a cheaper flight that you can book on your own rather than booking through Easy Air, there's all these reasons that you would want to book your own flights. For the cruises that we have booked right now, Gordon and I have booked our own flights. So, and yep, it does have a lot to do with our experience with Easy Air last summer. So, but it doesn't mean it's bad. Lots of people go on flights with Easy Air. Way more people go without a glitch than go with a glitch. So if you've got your flight booked with Easy Air, that is not a note to panic. It's not. But anyway, so if you book your own flights, once you book the flights, you need to go into your cruise planner, princess.com. You've got your account. You go in, you've signed in. You've got a login. You go to my account, and then it'll show you the list of cruises that you've got booked. You click on Manage This Cruise. It opens a window and there's an airplane up there. I think it says travel. And you go in there and you enter your flight information. That way, Princess knows where you are. They know what your flight is, when you're expected to arrive. They know where you are, which is excellent. You want that. But say you get going and all of a sudden you're delayed due to weather. You're delayed because they canceled your flight or because you missed the connection, whatever it is. And you end up that you can see you're not going to make it to the ship in time. This is really important. Still call that 1-800-545-0008 number. Okay, and you can tell them. You can say, I've got canceled flights or delays, whatever it is. I'm not going to make it to the ship in time. Then they will know to expect you. They'll know that you're not going to make it to the sailing in time, the departure from the port, the departure port, and they will be able to tell you and help you to know, okay, like this just happened with a Let's Go family member. You know what? You can meet the ship in Bergen, and they'll still help you. All right, they're not going to book your flights because you didn't book your flights through them, but they are still a really, really good resource. Now, our Let's Go family member that just this last weekend experienced this, they were able, like in this instance, they missed the sailing from Southampton, so they ended up going to Bergen, meeting the ship there. They flew in, and the cruise line took really good care of them as soon as they arrived at the port. So they, got there, they flew in, they got their own hotel there in Bergen. And these days, that's not a hard thing to do. You get a hotel, and then the next morning you get your taxi and you go over to the ship because she's now docked. Once you get there, the Princess people will be waiting for you because you've called that number. They will be expecting you to come, and they will take care of you with the embarkation process. A really interesting thing is, I just was really impressed by what good care they took of all of the people coming in this. And then, so there were like 28 people who had missed that sailing. So clearly flights were an issue that day. And so they took good care of them all together. They didn't separate out. You were booked with Princess Easy Air. You are not. We're not going to take as good of care of you. They were all together in the process that they had to go through to be able to be ready to depart on the Sky Princess that afternoon. Okay. I just think that's really valuable. So even if you don't book your flights with Princess Easy Air, have that number in your phone so that you can call and notify them of how things are going and get some help with it. All right. I think that's very important. So if any of you have any questions or any comments, put them below. I would really appreciate hearing from you all what you think about the new wedding thing, if you've ever thought about doing that at sea, and if you have ever attended a wedding at sea, let us know. And also let us know what you think about the dining changes on Carnival. Do you really think this is something that will be coming to Princess and Holland America as we look in the coming days to where the dining is and maybe what they're thinking of doing with it? it. It's always a big discussion to think about things like that. So let me know what you think. And if you haven't subscribed, please do subscribe. We really need you with us, and I think you need us too, our whole Let's Go family. And if you appreciate these updates, please do give this video a thumbs up. I'll be talking to you all again really soon. You all take really good care. God bless you. Love you. Bye-bye.